guys, it's me again. It is the last session, session 4, that I attended for the Illinois Business Education Association's Fall 2020 conference. And what an enjoyable day I had. You can probably tell from the lighting around me that the sun is setting. It was a glorious event, a lot of learning. I hope that the enthusiasm that the presenters had upon me, that I shared that to you. Just want to go through some of the highlights of that 4th session with you that I attended because you spent the day with me. For that, the topic was on sports and entertainment activities that can be used in most any marketing class. And our presenter was a teacher out of Peoria. His name is Josh Ebert. And he did a good job of blending sports marketing and entertainment marketing. I perhaps am partial to one of those, having had my own recording studio, as I mentioned to you all earlier. But I found that it was many transferable events. He shared at least 10 different activities, and some of the ones that were really exciting to me that I wanted to share with you verbally now and give students the choice of. If any of these sound exciting to you, you're more than welcome to talk to me about it, and you can have that as a student choice activity. That could be something that we could grade your measurement topics about. Any of the events or activities we talked about today that I'm sharing with you. This is one form that I can coach and guide you, and I just want you to be able to have that choice. And again, if they sound interesting to you, bring it to the table. Let's consider it together, how to solve that problem. What Mr. Ebert was telling us was that one of the activities that we could do is to see how businesses look for endorsers. So for example, right now there is a change in the political landscape of our country. So let's say, for example, we had someone who is an anti-masker for their own reason. We would not want them to endorse 3M, for example, to sell masks to prevent the spread of coronavirus. In that case, you want to look for an endorser, someone who supports and could model, market, advertise your product, business, or service, someone that is believable and passionate and enthusiastic about your business. You don't want to choose someone who's not a good fit for you, your product, business, or service. Make sure there's a match in partnership so that it is a good relationship, the business plus the endorser, and your target audience will believe it more. Another example of an assignment or an activity that we could do is to see how one would write a press release. There's a huge project involved in that Josh shared with us. With that being said, a press release is a marketing material or a piece of communication that we use to talk to the press or the media. If we're talking about the media or the press, we're thinking about radio, television, digital landscape, so the internet, maybe even to other businesses. For example, our school. And if you have something exciting or newsworthy to share, or if you have a message, in the case of sharing good news as a crisis, you want to consider, and it's best practice, using a press release. We have now in our toolbox some examples on how to create a press release, as well as to see the grading rubric for it and some ideas that we can create press releases for. Josh gave us real-world examples of creating press release for movies. Let's say, for example, one of the movies that I saw this year was Antebellum. Because of coronavirus, we did have a lot of movie theaters in our area closed down, so we had direct to video in the case of Disney Plus or Xfinity. And in that case, we would market a press release on viewers who are watching the movie at home. Maybe even when we had the telefilm or the televised play of Hamilton, also known as Hamilfilm, there were press releases that went out because it came out close to Independence Day here in the United States, and they had some tie-ins, some information, some news to discuss with us about launching Hamel Film. In our class, we could also look at how to create press releases, and I'm excited to hear what it is you all would want to share to the public. We also have now at our disposal a assignment where we could target licensed merchandise. For example, I have a lot of students who want to be clothing designers. If that's the case, and we're going to market merchandise, if we're going to sell things related to a business or a company or a sports team, are we considering a hat? Thinking about the whole body, head to toes? Are we considering selling masks, jewelry even? Are we considering targeted apparel or targeted merchandise in the form of gloves, eyewear, outerwear, shirts, pants, accessories and belts, socks, shoes, scents and fragrances, or even makeup? When we're thinking about where we want to license merchandise, think about the target, head to toe, and what are the ideal placements? Where do you want to see your merchandise targeted at or on? Another fun activity that we could do regarding sports and entertainment activities would be to analyze logos. We could look at it from either a team perspective, look at, for example, the Chicago White Sox logo change over the 100+ years that they've been around. Look, for example, at the logo change for Microsoft and their software and hardware. We could also look at logos in the case of companies, financial businesses, banks, for example, or even something local, the logo of your school. In our case, in our district, our oldest school is over 110 years old. And some of the alumni, the people who graduated before you all, they grew up with one type of logo for Proviso East, for example. And then we had the pirate, Petey the Pirate as the logo for dozens of years. And as of recent history, we have on Proviso East logo a shield or a symbol that shows different aspects related to school. Some of our alumni were a little disappointed in the change because the pirate wasn't represented, and they held on to that tradition. And that also bridges a path to the newer generation who grew up with the shield logo and saw the pirate branded within the building. We want to take a look at how logos history speaks to consumers or users, different audiences, and how logos also hold a history of businesses, companies, or sports teams in itself. One final activity that we could do together is looking at targeted advertising, and there are different commercials, if you will, different messages that would be ideal in different forms of media. For example, if I had a song that I produced and created a music video for, it may not be the best idea for me to get that product, that content published in a paper book. I may really want to consider the medium of online or television. If I had created something audio and visual based, so for example, a choreographed routine to a song that I or someone I knew wrote, I probably again would not want to put the entire piece in a newspaper or a magazine. That is print material. We want somewhere that is going to show its audio features, what it sounds like, and its video features, the movement of it. with the holidays coming around and you're thinking about toy commercials, I probably would not see the latest toy commercial advertised on HBO. Instead, I may see it on YouTube, or for example, in the case of my younger kid, on Ryan's Toy Review when she was younger. You want to strongly consider where your product is going to be placed and target your advertising to that. I have one other example that I wanted to share with you, but I can't give it all away now. Make sure you come on to class in case you have some ideas that resonated with you and you want to try them yourself, or if you have ideas that you came up with similar or a derivative of these that you want to do in class to get your measurement topic rank improved. Let me know. I'll see you all soon. Bye.